Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to my 6th TouchDesigner tutorial, and today we're building boxes, as you can see here, and I'm just gonna show you a bit what you can do with it. Like, there's a lot of different aesthetics and a lot of things you can do basically, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do that doesn't render in real time anymore, at least not with if you have a PC like me. You can, however, like change a few things to make this move in real time, and yeah, there's a lot of different stuff that you can play around with, and there's a lot of I'm gonna show you when we're building this. I'm just gonna rebuild it with you now. Just wanted to give a quick overview. Alright, so I'm gonna delete this whole network and start from scratch with you together. And before I do that, again, I just show you, like on my project container, my width is 1920, the height 1080, and the background top is set to BG. Okay, so I delete everything and build it with you step by step. Okay, so the first thing is, like, this is gonna be a bit similar, the beginning, to the last tutorial, if you've watched that. I'm just building a basic render network here, like the basic top network, and yeah, I'm on the render, I set the resolution to the same as my project container, and just put a null here that I call BG. So now if I go into perform mode, I see a beautiful black screen, but that's a good sign. Okay, so I'm gonna put a level here. I just always do that, and a lookup, so we don't have an alpha in the background. Yeah, attach rem to the lookup, and I'm gonna leave the tops as they are for now. Okay, so now I'm gonna drop a camera here, a light, and a box. I'm gonna attach this box to a transform, and to the transform a geo. Oops. Damn it. Okay. We also want a null to look at. So I'm just gonna make this a bit smaller, and on the cam select this, like drop this on the look at. Okay. So on the lights, I'm not gonna change anything for now. On the transform here, I'm gonna change the uniform scale to 0.05. And on the geo, I'm gonna do nothing. Just turn instancing on already, because that is, again, like last time, what we're doing here mostly. And on the cam, I'm gonna change the translate to 20, 20, and 20. I'm also gonna turn the display on the BG, so we can see what's being drawn in the background. Just gonna turn this off quickly. Oh, whatever. Okay, I'm also gonna change the view to orthographic and change the ortho width to 10. Okay, so far so good. I think that's all we need to do here. I'm gonna drop a chop null here, call this instances, and a merge to that. Like attach and merge to that, and drop the instances on the geo. So now we see a very small box, lit from one side only, very farther in the background. Okay, so now we get to the instancing part. So I'm gonna use a grid for the basic setup. So yeah, drop a sub grid here, and for the beginning, change the rows and columns to 10 and the size to 5 and 5. And I'm also attaching a copy here. So if I turn this around a bit, We can see what I do now, and let's change the number of copies to 5 and the translate Z to 1. So now we kind of get this box here, like 5 grids behind each other. And I'm also gonna attach this to a null and turn them all off. And the same here, actually, just turn them all off because I don't have a very strong PC. Okay, to this I'm gonna, like, I want this to be chops, so I'm gonna convert it with a sub2 and add a null here for good practice, and skip this all the way over here and attach this to the merge. Okay, so the first step is kind of done. We can select the x, like the corresponding values here. So tx, ty, and tz. And now we get this kind of grid here already. So actually on the geo x form, I'm gonna change the z to like -2. So the whole thing is in the middle. So if I look at this, yeah, it's in the center. Okay, the next thing is we want to change all the scales, so like the x, y, and z scale. And I'm going to do that with a noise. So I drop a noise here and change the channel name to scale x, or size x. And yeah, we can leave this as is, except for the amplitude. I'm going to put that to 0.5 and the offset as well. So we have a value between 0 and 1. So now I'm going to resample this. So it's the same length as the grid. So take the grid as the input source here, or like reference, that's the word. Turn off the time slice, change the method to new rate, new interval, and actually going to put this here. Oops. And attach this resample to a math. Alright, so on the range on the math, I'm gonna change the range to -20 and 20. And I'm gonna show you later, but this is one of the things you can really play around a lot with. But I'm gonna start with -20 and 20 and attach this to the merge. And now I'm gonna copy and paste this 3 times. The last one I'm gonna put a bit apart from the others, because these are all the scales. Like these 3 are the scales. And on the noise too, I'm gonna, like on the channel, change the name to scale Y, and here on the channel, change it to scale Z. Alright, and what we also want to do here, whoops, nope. Okay, on the noise here, change the seed just a bit, and here as well, so we don't have the same ones. I'm gonna take these two and put them into the merge. So now, as you can see here, we have all the channels in there, so we can select them in the instance here. So I'm just again gonna select the corresponding ones. Now actually before that, here on the like we also want to change the math in here, so I change this to like 5 and 60, and this to like 2 and 40. Alright, and I'm gonna select them here, so scale X, scale Y, and scale Z. That's already looking pretty cool. When we look at this, yeah, that's the way I want it to look. So the next thing I'm gonna do is rotate them. So what I want to do here is have them like rotate some in this direction and some like 90 degrees, but nothing in between. I'm gonna put this in here and change the noise name to rot, like rotate, and gonna leave the period as it is for now. Okay, so if I now like go into the geo and on the rotate Y select the rot, you can see that like you might want this effect. I don't. Like some are looking kind of how do you say, like they're not looking only into one and the other direction. They're looking like all like everywhere. Also, I want this to be like 0 and 90. You can maybe see this better. And yeah, maybe just show you what I want to have. Like on the noise, what you can do is one thing, change the exponent to 0. So you can already see it is kind of going to the right direction. But if I now mess around with the roughness, for example, then you can see there's still some like going out there. I don't want that. So I'm gonna drop a limit in here. And with this limit, we're gonna quantize this. So on the quantize tab, change the quantize value to round and the value step to 1. And now there you go. Like they're only gonna be either this or this way. Whatever you do here, you can change the period, you can change the roughness and everything, but they're always either looking that or the other way. Okay. So that's pretty good. One thing that you might wonder is how I got the colors to look that way. You might not, whatever. On the instance too, you can, like on the R, I just used the, like you can either make it another noise for that. I just used the rotate as like the rotate value. So I just select that here, and now there you go. And yeah, you can obviously take whatever here, so put them here, get different colors. Alright, and yeah, the next thing I'm gonna show you is how to get that noisy effect that I showed you in the beginning, or that you might have seen in the beginning. I really like the aesthetic of that. So you just drop a comp in here and change the operation to add, and then you create a noise top. And this noise top, I always put the resolution very high, so they're like this maybe. And then change the type to random, so you get this beautiful noise here. Then you attach a level to this, make it like 0.2 or something, like the opacity, and drop that in here. So yeah, it's a very simple thing, but I think it just looks a lot better. Like if you see the comparison here. And you can also change the operation to dodge and make this stronger. That also looks pretty cool, but I like the other one more personally. Alright, so I think the basic setup is made. Now I'm just gonna show you a lot of stuff you can play with. So first I'm gonna show you the camera. Like you can move closer by changing the ortho width, or like make it 20 so it's farther away. Also really like that. You could change the projection to perspective, but I like on this one I really like the orthographic style. Yeah, on the lights, I'm actually gonna move closer again. You can change the lights, like if you make this viewer active and just drag around a bit with the left mouse, then you can like, yeah, get different lighting situations, which also really change the feel of it. And yeah, you can also change like the general scale here, like on the transform of the boxes. It's a quick way to do that. A cool thing, like a little trick I found out on the limit here, that's controlling like the rotate. You can change the offset here, and then they're rotating around their own axes. And obviously, like you can play around with the noises quite a bit. So change the period and whatever else you want to change. And for example, like what I like to do here on the noise one is to change the type to random. Also makes an interesting effect. And then on the scale Z, for example, or Z, you can change the translate to make it move. So like appstime.frame, like the Python expression, and then you can see them move. Yeah, if you want to do that. Like if I turn this off and change the rows and columns to like maybe 50 and 50, like 60 even, you see the frame rate is dropping very low to like 7. If I pause, this goes up. So if you want to render this in real time, then you shouldn't go like too high with the rows and columns. only if you have like a better PC or like a really good PC. And yeah, but if you just want to like export it as an image or a movie, then this is totally fine. Then the frame rate doesn't really matter. So you can also go really low, also like that. If you just put like 2 and 5, 2 and 3. Yeah, that's also nice. You can also like on the math change, as I said in the beginning, change this quite a bit, like 60, and make them really like not very big, like not high, and change this to 100. No, that's not 100. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do. You could also just take a rectangle and drop that in here. Maybe make this more again. Yeah, it's also a nice effect. So I think that's about it. Like, yeah, there's a just have fun with it, I guess. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. And wait, I think there's one more thing I can show you. That is the here on the cam X form. You can change the translate, and actually before I do that, change this to like 30 again. You can change the translate to 0, so then you get this not 3D effect, but this 2D effect, which is also like I think looks really cool. And yeah, I think now I'm actually done. Enjoy playing around with that, and I see you on the next tutorial.